Hello everybody, my name is Jay and I'm from the UK, and today we will be playing Railroads Online. This will be the first part of a new series I intend to call Going for Gold, where we get the gold mine running and hopefully end up with some gold bars. So what we have here is a 69 car train. I've already got 120 rails loaded. We will be taking that train across the entire map down here to the gold mine. Now the gold mine itself sits on a little hill that isn't that little, it's about 4%, almost 5% in places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the really large trains up. I'm going to drop them off in this little yard here, and then we're going to get basically every engine we own once this yard's full and drag them up the hill, get the gold mine going. All of the little industries are done, so we've got the stock needed to do what we need to do. Let's get loading. We're at the sawmill. This is our train. It goes quite a long way back. Let's get on board. We are all filled up, ready to go. Do with another scoop maybe. Now, as you can see, I've taken the liberty of loading up. That's 120, 12 cars of rails. And then we'll load the rest of this 69 cars with beams. Now obviously there's not enough beams in the factory to do that. So we will be loading from the train you can see opposite, that's 24 cars of log. We'll start loading. Now, this is the little trick I wanted to show you. If you can get this just right, you can actually load beams, because they're only a single swing of the crane. You can actually load the beams up on the move. As you can see, we're doing a rolling load. You have to keep playing with the throttle to get it just right, but it does actually save you a little bit of time if you can do it this way. But anyway, what I will do is I will load this train up. Probably end up dumping a few more logs into the pool before this train is full. But I will load this train up and I will get back to you once it's loaded. Right, that's the last of the cars loaded. Just for a laugh, let's get out and fly above to get an idea of what we're dealing with. So, the front of the train is over there somewhere, and the back of the train is at the loading dock over there. So we are running. We are all fueled up, ready to go. I'll just check that we are lined through. Certainly should be lined all the way through. I did a little test run earlier. It all turned out okay. We'll head up and drop off our little yard up there. Right, so nothing left to do but hit the music and get going. Let's skip up to the front of the train, give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with again. Right, full reverser, full throttle. Again, as always, realistic settings, so this train really will take a while to get going. I've found generally that this is the longest train you can run without your game becoming unstable. Around about 33, 35 cars per train, and you must have a train unit in the middle. That way, if you try and run more than 35 cars, you will end up losing cars on corners. Right, just pop a little bit more coal in here. We will fly up to the front of the train. And just for a laugh, how about we let the train do a little drive-by. This might take a while. Still going. We're nearly halfway there. That's halfway. There's Edwin. Now that is a lot of beams. It's a total of 120 rails and 171 beams. 12 cars of rails and 57 cars of beams. Hopefully that'll be all we need. There's the caboose at the end. So that, as I think you can agree, is a pretty long train. Right, we had better catch up with our unit. Takes a while to catch up. And see if we can jump on board. Go a couple of cars back or else it's very loud. This is of course the Mesa Plains pre-laid map. I have had to make a few alterations, but very few indeed. Whoever laid this map was really good. Thank you very much to whoever it was that laid the map. If you guys happen to know his name, stick it in the comments below. So we'll be coming up to the ironworks here, where we'll be turning more south head down towards the bottom. Oh, and I forgot to start my timer. The top corner, oh well, never mind, we'll do that next round. There wasn't much loading on this, and I got to show you the rolling load, so that's good enough. So here we are turning south on the map. Let's just go check and make sure that we still have a caboose at the back, which means we are still running the full load. Don't know, you might be able to see the front around this corner, maybe. Maybe through the trees just a little bit. Right, let's go back up to the front. Little view from the cab, maybe? As you can see, we're going through a little bit of a forest at the moment. Quite difficult to get a nice view, but I think that does the job. Beautiful views on this map. This is the only map of the ones released so far that you can run these silly long trains. It is basically completely flat. We're not even running very powerful units. They're certainly not the biggest trains, the biggest drive units in the game. We've got those for later on. Just to let you know where I am in the game, I'll throw up my stats. There I am, level 10, 21 grand in the bank. Nearly to level 11. Now I have had to turn my graphics settings down ever so slightly for running these long trains, or else the physics does make your computer work very, very hard. Now we are on the open plains. Mountains in the distance. As we're passing through the freight yard, we won't need to slow down for this, it's a straight track. Let's just check again that we've got the back end still. Just to give you another idea, we'll sit back here and wait for the freight yard to come up, just to show you that the front has already gone through. We are at 20 miles an hour. Takes nearly a minute or so to cover the length of the entire train. A little bit quieter back here without the engine. Little red light glowing in the top of the caboose. Do love this little caboose, it's great. With the little viewing cupola on the top. Great for multiplayer. You can have your friends ride in it. But there we go, it took that long to get the whole train through the freight zone. Right, let's pop back to the front of the train. Again, another lovely little yard put there by the map maker. You can store whatever you want in there. Little roundhouse, fueling depot, that kind of thing. Now this is a fairly tight corner. There we go. There we are, on our way. As I mentioned before, we won't actually be delivering these loads to the gold mine. There is a rather steep hill. You must go up first at the gold mine. So what we will be doing is dropping this load off. And then we will buy some of the larger engines. This is the tightest corner we have to go around. So we'll just drop it down a little bit in speed. That. Right, last little bit up to the gold mine, and as I say, we will be storing our train in this section here. Let's line ourselves in. We through that corner yet? Not quite. Go have a look at the back of the train. Here's the steep corner. Now the back of the train's through that. You can hit full throttle again. Great views again. I have set the weather to be a sunny day. I have turned off dynamic weather. It is very system resource hungry using dynamic weather, so this is permanently set to 10 o'clock in the morning and a not sunny day, so that I can give you guys best views. Starting to get into the more rocky area of the map, and this is the final set of corners. That's the hill. We will be dragging all of this lot up to the top there. Just check that everything's lined correctly. Change that switch. So we're going to go right past, and then we're going to reverse each half of the train into its own track. And that'll be part one done. I am slightly worried because my storage yard does have a slight incline to it. It's up to about 2%. So I'm slightly worried that these trains are not going to be man enough to do the job to push this large load into the storage yard. So I have a couple of engines waiting at the bottom. I think you just saw them. So that if this train is not powerful enough to push up into the storage yard, then I can have a little bit of a helper from two nicely powerful trains. You can just see the front of the train there, just about to go behind a rock. So again, with these really long trains, we know we're going to need to slow down. So it's best to start slowing down quite a lot early. Just knock the reg off a little bit, that'll slow us down. And as we start to get to the junction, just apply a little bit of brake. Let the cars all pile together. That should stop us. So let me set these points. Take us into the storage yard. We will exit the train and move the first half into the yard. Now here's where we get to find out if the train is powerful enough. So if we disconnect that couple up, get on board Edwin, we have plenty of coal, hit the reverse and hit the go button. Check the back of the car, so hopefully we should be going into the yard. We should be taking the first track. We are full throttle. There you can see we do have a couple of helper trains sat waiting. Ivor the engine, you remember him? You're as old as I am. Right, so as I say, this yard does have a slight incline once we get onto the corner. So I'm going to try and push this train back as fast as I can, so as to get some momentum, so that hopefully we can get the back of this train up and round this little tiny hill, neatly stored in the yard. Right, we're starting to climb the little hill now. Looks like we're going to make it. Right, so knocking the reg off should naturally start to slow down, but I'm going to apply a small amount of brake. Now I don't actually know if this yard is long enough to accept the whole train. Just kind of hoping it is. Shove right up. Like so. To a stop. Let's check the front and see if we're in the yard. Yes, we are. Right, let's get out of this one. Go grab the other half of the train. Be a long way. There she is. Sure we've got just enough heat left to get us up the hill. Oh yeah, plenty. Change the points so that we're running into the second lane. Like that. That should put us next to our previous train. And let's hit the go button. Again, we'll go to the back so that we can see what we're doing. .100% throttle takes a while. They're not the most powerful trains, but on this nice flat map you don't need all the power. In fact, running the larger trains can sometimes be a bit more difficult. So if you run the smaller units, brakes tend to be a bit smoother, the acceleration tends to be a bit less violent. But it looks like we won't need our helper engines to get these two trains into the yard. This train is probably a lot heavier than this, so we are going to just keep the throttle on. Right, so here we go. Two halves of the train pulling next to one another. Still got quite a long way to go. Well, that track's very close. Hope they don't touch. Wow, that is close. Probably should have tested that first, but never mind. Right, look, we'll drop the reg off. And we know that that other train was way inside the yard. There we are, and gently to a halt. Brakes on, get out, and have a look at what we've done. So let's fly up. So there we are, 120 rails, 171 beams, delivered to the Gold Mine yard. At some point we will be dragging these down around here and up 4 or 5% hill. Now the trains that we just pulled that lot here with will only pull 4 carriages up the hill each. So that would be quite a number of runs, something like 19 runs to get the whole train up here. So what we intend to do is bring the coal train down, stick that in there, and then we'll bring down the tools train as well. So the gold mine requires tools and coal, so the next train will fit alongside that one. And then I will string all of the units together, make one massive powerful unit, and then we will drag these cars up that hill best as we can. But for now I shall leave you there with another nice view. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Going for Gold Part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon. We will be running more large trains, and if you have any comments, suggestions, like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff down in the bottom. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jay. I will see you next time.